Part 20. Meditations. It gives one solace to know that in a cold, disheartening world, where tragedy and intolerance appear to dominate, and the reasonable and rational self is nothing but a dream, a refuge exists where love stands supreme. It is a world of unlimited potential intermingled with divine bliss. This world of delight is available to everyone who chooses to open that door. Where is this place of contentment and love? This domain of peace is found in silence. It is the silence of being. Just being. For it is in the golden silence of our own selves that the divine is found. When we center ourselves and listen to that still small voice within, we are tapping into the silence of being. This self-knowingness can be utilized in every aspect of life to ripen and enrich every experience. So many people go through their daily lives in search of their purposeful living. They bemoan their fate and suffer so. If they would just take a simple moment to stop and listen to their inner 275 voice, they would begin to open themselves up to a level of indefatigable understanding. But how do we get to the silence? How do we tap into our inner knowingness? How do we discern our inner voice? The answer to these questions, and the best way I know, is through meditation. What is meditation? Simply, meditation is a focus of consciousness from one state of being to another. In essence, we turn off the outside, everyday world and tune into, or become aware of, our inside world. When we sit in silence and begin to focus our attention inwardly, the awareness of self is strengthened and the spiritual dimensions of the soul are revealed. When we meditate or concentrate our energies on our beingness, we return to wholeness, the oneness of who we are, our infinite self. In that oneness, we begin to discard the idea of duality that separates us from our God self. This duality is based on the falsehood of negativity, fear, anxiety, illness, grief, and disappointment, all of which become our reality when we are not in tune with our divine self. As we meditate, we utilize cosmic energies, and they, in turn, illuminate and energize the various spirit centers of the body. This energy is focused primarily in our heart chakra or center. When we meditate, the light of unconditional love is lit within us, and it continues to grow more and more. James Van Praagh 276. With each meditation, we must remember that the heart center is the embodiment of the Christ consciousness, or the seat of the soul. The more we focus on this center, the more our feelings of unconditional love evolve, and, in turn, the more we transform every aspect of our lives and influence everyone with whom we come in contact. All things start in the heart center. As we meditate, our psychic centers are heightened because the stream of the Christ consciousness that originates in the heart center flows through all the psychic centers, or chakras, of the body. We eventually tune into this energy or stream of light as it flows throughout the body. How to meditate? When people hear the word meditation, their first impression is one of a yogi in a lotus position who chants Oms in a room filled with incense. Some of this is true. We can sit in a lotus position and chant Om, but we don't have to. Meditation is merely a concentrated focus. The more we practice it, the more we are able to get in the flow of an infinite life force. At the same time, many other forms of meditation do not require absolute stillness of body. The one I will be discussing further in this chapter is a talking to heaven 277 formal way to meditate, but meditation can be done in many ways. For example, the same kind of focus of energy can also be accomplished while we paint, garden, write, sing, act, dance, work, exercise, drive, and so on. Whenever we tune into the creative force within ourselves, we are, in essence, meditating. Preliminaries. The following suggestions can be used at the beginning of any meditation or relaxation exercise. I call these preliminaries. 1. Setting aside a place for meditation. The first thing to do is to pick a room in your home for your practice of meditation. It can be a bedroom, living room, or guest room. Remember, this room is to be used for your spiritual exercises, so you might think of it as a spiritual workroom. The important thing to keep in mind is that this is a place reserved for relaxation and inner work. You may set aside an area of the room where you can meditate without interruption, where there is very little or no interference from the outside world. Before you begin, turn off all phones, answering machines, and beepers. Turn off anything that could be distracting or disturbing. If you like, you can light James Van Praagh 278 some incense or place a vase of fresh flowers in the room. You can play a tape of soft and relaxing music, but nothing that is jarring or loud. These are some tools that can assist your inward focus. 2. Choosing a meditative position. You may choose to sit on the floor, if that is comfortable, or in a flat back chair, which I find more comfortable. No matter what your choice is, it is important that your spine be erect as though you are being pulled by a string from the top of the head. In this manner, the energies are able to flow more easily up and down the spine. If you are sitting in a chair, your legs should be uncrossed and flat on the floor, and your palms should face upwards resting on your thighs. If you sit on the floor, bend your legs in a yoga position with your feet facing each other, knees on the floor, and your palms facing upwards on your thighs. 3. Relaxation exercise. Once in position, concentrate on your breathing. This is a vital element in meditation. When you first start out, you may find it takes effort and timing to get into the rhythm of your breathing. This is true with anything, but even more so with meditation. After some practice, you won't even notice the breath, it will automatically rise and fall into talking to heaven 279 place naturally in its proper manner. The key is slow, relaxed, deep breathing from your midsection, not shallow, quick breaths. When you begin to breathe, close your eyes. Think of your breath as everything, for without it, you are not able to live. Begin the inhalation slowly through the nose. As you do this, envision a golden, white light, representing the Christ light, about 2 inches above your head. Inhale this light through your entire being, see it enter the head area, travel through the throat and chest into the arms and hands, then descend down the rest of the torso, legs, and feet. Hold the breath for a count of 4 and see its golden color fill every cell of the body with a sense of unconditional love, purity, and wholeness. At the end of 4, exhale the breath out of the mouth. As you exhale, imagine any negativity, stress, or anxiety that has been pent up in the body slowly leave through the mouth as a gray mist. With each exhalation, you will feel lighter as you free yourself of heavy and denser energies. These heavier energies will be replaced with the lighter and higher vibrations of the Christ golden light. As you become more relaxed, envision each body part and release any stress held inside of the body part. You can do this by tightening the area and then relaxing it, thereby letting go of stress. With your James Van Praagh 280 mind's eye, envision your toes, tighten them, and then release them. Do the same with your ankles, calves, and thighs. Move to the buttocks, the pelvic area, then the stomach midsection, and chest area. You want to fully relax the back, the neck, the shoulders, and all of the head area. Finally, tighten then relax the arms, including the biceps and triceps, and the hands. Make a fist with each hand, then release it. Remember to bring the golden light to every area of your body as you tighten and relax it. After this exercise, you should be fully relaxed and ready for meditation. In such a relaxed state, it is easier to focus your energies on the meditation exercise. Listed below are 3 exercises that I have included for your use. If, however, you just want a quick way of relaxing from a day's stress, you can do the relaxation exercise by itself. Saying goodbye to loved ones and sending them on their way after you have completed the preliminaries, you can use this exercise to release your loved one into spirit. Begin by picturing your loved one in your mind's eye. See him as the picture of perfect health standing right in front of you. Any illness, whether cancer, AIDS, Alzheimer's, or another, no longer has any bearing on his new body. Even if his was a talking to heaven 281 quick passing of some kind, or even a traumatic one, just picture the person is complete, happy, and full of life, standing in front of you. Picture as many details as possible. You may see your loved one in a familiar dress or outfit. If you can, imagine her aroma or scent. Perhaps she had a specific birthmark, or a significant stance, or a particular hairdo. The more detailed you are in your visualization, the more successful the exercise. Once you have a detailed picture of your loved one in mind, begin a conversation. Ask him about his transition to spirit. Ask, how do you feel now? Tell him how you have been since his death. Tell him about the grief you still feel. Talk to your loved one, and then listen to the answers back to you. Do not stop the exercise even if you think that you are merely talking to yourself. It is important to completely follow through without rationalizing any part of it. Enjoy being together once again. Perhaps it will bring back a memory of a time when you were together on the physical earth and the enjoyment shared in each other's company. The next step on your journey is to take your loved one's hand and travel together to a beautiful garden that is filled with bright, beautiful, colorful flowers of different shapes and sizes. Smell the fragrance of this incredible garden. Within this wonderfully landscaped garden are splendid statues, James Van Praagh 282, and magnificent fountains where birds frolic and sing their songs. Hear the sounds of children playing and sharing laughter in the distance. Every element around you is perfect. Enjoy the splendor, peace, and tranquility of this special place. As you look far off into the distance, you see massive buildings. Both of you go toward them. As you get closer, you see the glimmering pillars of pearl of an incredible building. This building shimmers in a light rose color. All around this building are other buildings spread perfectly apart. Each building differs slightly in design, and each encompasses a sense of a heavenly world. You walk inside the massive building together and find yourselves inside a huge living room. In the center of this room is a large movie screen. As you look at the screen, the lights dim and a movie begins. It is a movie of the events and experiences you and your loved one once shared. The picture begins when you first meet each other and goes from there. As you watch all the vivid experiences together, feel the emotion that corresponds with the moment. Do this for as long as it takes. Enjoy the time spent together. When the film is over, you feel a sense of relief and completion. You have experienced a piece of time together, but it is not over yet, for there are more experiences to share at another time. You talking to Heaven 283 begin to understand that you and your loved one have spent lifetimes together in the past, and you spend lifetimes together in the future. Life goes on, whether here on earth or in heaven. Afterwards, you leave the building and travel back to the garden. Among the wonderful, incredible vistas of beautiful flowers and greenery stand several beings dressed in white. Who are they? You ask. Your loved one says, they are my teachers. They are helping me to learn more on the side. You look into their all-knowing eyes and see their compassion. They smile back assuredly, and you know your loved one is where he belongs. He is home, in a place of incredible life and growth. One of the teachers comes over to you and hands you a silver heart on a silver chain. She tells you to open the heart, and you do. She says, fill the heart with all the wonderful things you want your loved one to keep with him in his new world. Your mind is suddenly full, and all of your thoughts spill into the silver heart. Everything you always wanted to tell your loved one, every word you thought but never uttered, every feeling, expressed or not. Everything you want him to remember. See these thoughts, feelings, and words filling the inside of the silver heart, and as they do, the heart begins to glow. It shines so brightly with your love you can barely look at it. You place the heart around the neck of James Van Praagh 284, your loved one, so it will be with him always. It is a part of your love that can never die. You hug your loved one, and he says, I will always be with you. The time comes when you must return to earth. For just as your loved one must continue to learn and work where he is, you too must continue your work where you are. And so it is. You leave this land of splendor with a sense of real life and the knowingness that you will meet again in the garden of heavenly delights when you have completed your lessons on earth. At that time, your loved one will greet you and escort you back home. Forgiveness and regrets. Whenever someone passes, the living relatives and friends are often left with a lot of unspoken feelings and regrets. What if I could, and if only seem to be the words that I hear most often. Those alive feel abandoned and incomplete, as though their hearts are broken and they can no longer continue living life. They would feel much better if they could share their feelings with their loved ones one more time. They don't know how to go on with their burdens and guilt. The following meditation is designed to help let go of such regrets. After your preliminaries, envision yourself standing in front of a cottage in the middle of a beautiful Talking to Heaven 285 field. The cottage has been created exactly to your liking, including the color, the wood, and so on. Perhaps there is a porch with a rocking chair. Maybe there is a border of lovely roses on the walkway. See, the cottage is yours, for it belongs to no one else but you. As you enter this house, you immediately see a very comfortable living area with a fluffy, overstuffed sofa full of pillows. To one side is a picture window, and the radiant sunshine filters through it. The wallpaper is made of the finest materials. The room is completely filled with every material item you have ever wanted in your life. Make sure all these items are imbued with your feeling. On the far left wall are several photographs of varying shapes and sizes, pictures of all your family members. You see the faces of those who have passed into the world of spirit and those currently alive. Take down the photo of the individual for whom you are grieving. Bring this framed photograph to the wooden desk in the corner of the room. See this desk exactly as you would have it. This is where you do your special work, the work of the heart. Sit down at your desk and set the picture in front of you. Take out a piece of parchment paper from the desk. Pull out a fountain pen and lay it on the paper. As you study the photo, ask yourself, what James Van Praagh 286 things do first want to be forgiven for? Pick up the pen and start writing your list on the paper. Perhaps you were too judgmental to your loved one, or perhaps you didn't show enough love. Maybe you felt as though you weren't there when she needed you. Write down any feeling for which you want forgiveness. Next, take another piece of paper and write down all the regrets you have had since your loved one passed into spirit. Write down the words you didn't tell her when she was alive. Maybe you didn't agree on some issues, and they were left unresolved. Maybe you felt as though you could have loved her more. Write down any feeling that you still hold on to and you cannot or are unable to release. When you have finished the two lists, roll each one up into a scroll. Next, go over to your beautiful window and feel the springtime breeze that blows through the room. Next to the window, there are two white balloons. Drop each list into a balloon. Blow up the balloon, tie it off, and set it free out the window. Watch as the two balloons slowly dance their way up to heaven. As they soar high in the sky, you feel a sense of lightness as all the regrets leave your being. As the balloons rise higher and higher, you know that they are bound for your loved one in spirit. See your loved one receive the balloons and read the notes. Take a few moments talking to Heaven 287 to look out your window at the sky and see a message from your loved one. The message is, no matter what, I will always love you. Rediscovering your power. So often in life it is our desire to be loved, and we tend to fall victim to our own making. We try so hard to be the best wife, mother, father, child, employer, lover, or friend. Because we believe it is what is expected in order to have the love of someone else, we compromise who we truly are. For the most part, we do this on an unconscious level, and we are totally unaware of our behavior. After a while, our behavior becomes second nature, and days fall into years as we continually try to live up to their image of us. Eventually, we find ourselves depressed and unhappy about life and unfulfilled in our dreams. At this point, it is difficult to trace back to the why and how we feel this way. Not only have we given our power and a piece of ourselves to these people, but, more important, we have not been true to who we are. We have left our centeredness and given away a part of our beautiful self-wholeness. Unfortunately, we can never be truly happy until we live our own lives. So many people are miserable when their loved ones pass, and much of this pain is the result of James Van Praagh 288 compromise. Too often, they have given away a part of who they are. They have compromised their individuality, they have not been true to themselves because of the need or desire to please the other. So when loved ones die, they are left with no sense of self-esteem because so much of their identities were tied to the deceased. All that is left is a sense of emptiness and loneliness. This next meditation is one you can use to regain that part of you that has been lost, taken, or given away. Use this meditation to bring back the creative power that is yours. Again, begin with the preliminaries. When completed, envision yourself standing in front of a peaceful and serene lake. It is a gentle blue lake that reflects a myriad of magnificent colors of the landscape, rich green, blue, yellow, and violet. You can smell the freshness of the stimulating country air. Two swans swim around the lake and add to the tranquility of the scene. The more you look at this lake, the more relaxed you become. You take a walk to the far side of the lake and see a stream flowing down a mountain into the lake. You climb up the mountain to locate the origin of the stream. When you reach the top of the mountain, you discover a beautiful cascading waterfall. You look up toward the sky and notice that there is no talking to heaven 289 beginning to the waterfall. It seems to fall right out of the heavens. You remove your clothes and lay them on a nearby rock. You walk under the waterfall and feel the cool, pristine water caress your body. It is water the likes of which you have never felt. It feels as if feathers are touching your body, and in an instant you feel totally cleansed. You look down at the stream below, and as if looking into a magic mirror, you see all the different circumstances in which you gave away your power. You see the times when you should have been true to yourself. You see how you did not love yourself enough nor treat yourself with respect. As you watch these images, each one slowly floats down the mountain stream. As you continue to stand under the waterfall, you notice a beautiful light streaming through the falls. As this light touches you, you suddenly feel a rush of energy and a newfound sense of creativity. You begin to feel love running throughout your body. You feel love for yourself, for it is your love that you are finally getting in touch with. As you continue to feel this love and joy, you look into the water, and the images you see are now quite different. You see yourself happy, doing activities you have always wanted to do but never gave yourself the time for. You see people applauding you for James Van Praagh 290 how wonderful and loving you are. You see the true you. Feel how much lighter you have become. Feel your strength and potential, once lost, return to you. All that self-assurance resides within you now. You are free of other people's domination. You have taken a wonderful journey to rediscover your true self. Enjoy it. You leave the waterfall and feel a whole new and wonderful being inside yourself. You are excited about your new self. You look at your clothes. They have been replaced by a beautiful spirit robe.
Soulmate, this is a part of Zindagi Ki Roshni consultancy. It has been established for those who have lost someone and for those who are very sad in their life. About 100 PDF books and 20 short audio books of this topic will be sent to those who join it. This data will be sent to their email or WhatsApp. If you want to join this organization, then please send WhatsApp message to this number.